2012, big year for immigration, and as we say goodbye to 2012, of course, we're saying hello to 2013, what to look out for in terms of immigration for the following year. But before that, we talked about the positives. Were there anything that were not so good that happened in immigration?
Well, there were a few things. I think, generally speaking, one of the things that's been a little bit bothersome in the immigration community is the fact that states have sort of inserted themselves into the enforcement of immigration law, which has caused problems and
confusion.
Confusion, yes.
Yeah.
What state are you in? That
right.
may be different the way you're going to be treated, and that's been a problem throughout the year.
Do we see people? Do you have clients who've maybe talked about moving to a different state?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we have clients throughout the United States, and a lot of people in Arizona they feel like they're
stifled,
jailed in a sense, and they can't move, they can't leave their homes, and so there are various states, unfortunately, throughout the United States that have passed laws that are so intrusive and so against immigrants that it's very much the attitude of the Republican platform during the presidential elections of making life so hard that they're going to want to leave. And right now, that attitude of wanting to leave is state by state.
Right, okay.
And so there are some better states to be in.
So that's one negative thing. Anything else about immigration, a negative?
One of the main, one of the enforcement of immigration this year has really been to ramp up worksite enforcement, which we had discussed on a recent show. And so that's one of the focuses that people do need to be concerned about, and that is going to continue in 2013. That immigration really does believe that the way to deal with the immigration problem is by focusing on companies that hire undocumented individuals, and that they are going to go ahead and penalize and prosecute companies who undergo that practice.
In a way, though, I don't think that is such a bad thing. Also, because we've also reported a lot of, like, even Filipino-owned businesses exploiting their employees because they don't have proper documentation.
Right. I wouldn't necessarily categorize that as a bad thing, but it is a concern that especially companies need to be mindful of. And immigration wasn't so active in worksite enforcement in years past, and so people have gotten an attitude of thinking that they can get away with this.
Right. So, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay, so just be careful. Drug convictions?
Well, there was a change in the Ninth Circuit. We here in California are part of the Ninth Circuit, and for a long time the Ninth Circuit has been holding out saying that if you are convicted of a drug crime in California under state law and go through a program like a deferred program in which you can later on get that conviction expunged, that you would not be suffering any immigration consequences, much like you would in federal court.
Right.
So if you were in federal court, they have what's called the first offender program, and so you would go through this program, no immigration consequences.
Right.
The Ninth Circuit kind of flipped back. There was a BIA decision which says no, if your state court is state court, federal court is federal court, and you can't equate them. And recently the Ninth Circuit said we're going to have to follow the BIA. So all cases starting this year going forward who have state drug convictions will not be. They will have immigration consequences.
And just as well, you know, those offenses also, these are the things that put immigrants into bad light as well. So you should also be careful about that. But still, you know, in all, we talked about the negatives and the positives. There's still more positives than negatives. But that was for 2012. How does 2013 look for immigration? What does it hold for immigration? We're going to be talking about that when we return on the show. Don't go away.